Call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Stokes County. Law stand, and I will have prayer. Precious Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the freedom you give us to meet. Watch over, keep us safe, and give us wisdom to conduct the county business. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I need a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any public comments?
There are no public comments today.
Prayers were answered. So we'll go straight to comments by the commissioners, and we'll start with Brad.
Mr. Chair, welcome everybody today to our regular Board of Commissioner meeting on a very hot afternoon. It's really nice to be inside. I guess it's an excuse to be inside, not working outside. So I would hope that everybody got the weather alerts about staying hydrated and taking breaks, especially us elderly folks. Kind of comes on you real quick when you're out there working in the sun. Real quick, I guess what kind of it ties into something that I want to just mention on our discussion agenda for the donation of the property form and deed for the highway right-of-way, Shepherd Hill, we're really in Moortalk Park, is that I had a conversation with somebody today who was very concerned about the activities that are going on at Moortalk Park, especially on the weekends. During the day, starts in the day, and then even goes into the evening. This past weekend, supposedly there was some law enforcement action taken where they had to disperse everybody in the park. I think it was around 9 o'clock. Music was blaring. In fact, it's loud there a lot, but it was really, really loud over this past weekend. And then also in conjunction with that, it seems that we're getting more and more people that are driving recklessly in that area. So I would like to ask the manager to coordinate with the sheriff, or at least contact the sheriff and see what kind of resources he needs to see if we can't stop there's a lot of illegal drinking, I think, going on there. Probably some driving while impaired violations going on there. I think we need to make sure that Moortalk Park is for everybody. It can't just be where families are uncomfortable coming to Moortalk Park. And then also, if you would pull the CAD reports, I'd like to see how many calls that are actually coming into dispatch that we're responding to, maybe starting in the beginning around maybe late April, early May to now. I know a lot of people I talked to in the past about it, I always try to make sure they call the sheriff to make sure that the complaint is lodged there too. But I think now it's to the point where we just need to, I want to help him, the county. If he needs resources, if he has some ideas how he can quell down the problem before someone gets seriously hurt, then I think we need to do that. That's all I got, Mr. Chair. Thanks.
Rick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to welcome everybody. I was also going to comment on the heat, but since Brad did that, I'll not do it twice. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Oh, wow. All right, Wayne?
Just like to welcome everybody. Good to see everybody today. Just stay hydrated.
Yep,
And I'll just echo what Commissioner Chandler spoke about, that is a concern for all of us, Moortalk Park, and everybody's safety and well-being down there, and any illegal activities that could be going on down there, and whatever resources we need to utilize to help out in that situation. I think we should do it. So, and just welcome to our meeting, and we're here, we're going to celebrate Ty Browder here in a little bit, so we're excited to have them here today. So thank you.
Jeff?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to let everybody know that we have a draft copy of the results from our annual resident survey that we conducted a month or so ago. It is draft. It's not really quite ready for public consumption because there are some errors in it that we're working to correct. But having gone through it a couple times very quickly, there are some really interesting results in here that I think are going to help us to prioritize our efforts to improve service delivery in the future. So look forward to sharing that with you.
Emma, you got anything?
Other than welcome.
Olivia? I'd like to welcome everybody also. And I've been concerned about the sheer volume of traffic, and the park's just it's weekend. The activity, since I drive over it almost every day by Moortalk, is heavier than normal. It's like, oh, they're going to replace a bridge, let's go watch it. But they're watching in the water in their bathing suits. So I think we do need to address it. The only other two things I got, I want to thank Robin with the Hanging Rock State Park and her boss, who, do y'all remember his name? I don't remember. I can't remember. They give us a tour of Vade Mickham last Wednesday, and they're coming along pretty good. I think most of the mechanical's done and all the drywall's up. So I guess they're getting ready to paint. And the PAC meeting I was in a few weeks ago, they are shooting for end of the year or first of next year to have it up and running. And there are jobs posted. They are hiring for several positions. Also, and there you are. If I get this wrong, correct me. We've had a Zoom meeting with the architect on the animal shelter. We didn't like their schedule, so they come back with a new schedule, and we can live with that. And they're shooting for. We are going to try to persuade them to bid in November, October or 1st of November. That's correct. Okay. So that's all I got. Next, conflict of interest. Before moving further, does any board member have a conflict with any of the items on the agenda for today, or one that might be perceived as a conflict of interest? No. Consent agenda. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That brings us to the information agenda, and I'm going to let, since when I saw all of your qualifications, Ty, I says, I ain't reading that, let Amber read it.
I guess that's my cue.
Yes, that's it. And then we're going, after you get done, we're going to let all the commissioners comment.
Yeah, so on behalf of the county, we wanted to take this time to recognize and thank Ty as county attorney for all these years. So I'm going to start by just reading a little bit about Ty and his educational background, professional career, and some of his other accolades. So he grew up in Rural Hall, North Carolina. He's been a resident of King since 1974, married to Arden Harris Browder for 33 years, 4 children, 4 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. He's a graduate of Northwest Forsyth High School, degree in business administration from UNC Chapel Hill, law degree from UNC Chapel Hill. He was a math teacher at South Stokes High School from 1968 to 1972. He was an attorney with Stover, Dellinger, and Browder from 1974 to 1985. He established a solo practice of law in 1985. This law firm has operated continuously to the present time and is what we now know as Browder Everby and Michaud.
He served as Stokes County Attorney for over 30 years during the following periods: 1981 to 1982, 1987 to 2003, and 2013 through June 2025. Some of his community and civic activities include past member and director of King JC's, past member of King Lions Club, past member and president of King Rotary Club, past director and officer of United Sports Council of King, past director of King Library, charter member and past director of King Chamber of Commerce, and past local bank director. Some of his professional memberships and awards include member of North Carolina Bar Association, member of Judicial District 23 Bar for Stokes and Surry County. In 2015, he received the Centennial Award from North Carolina Bar Association in conjunction with the 17B Judicial District Bar Association for outstanding and exemplary service to the community and the profession of law. And on October 31st, 2024, he was recognized and honored along with other 50-year lawyers for being North Carolina attorneys who have served in the legal profession for more than 50 years. So I just want to take this time to say thank you, Ty. It's been a true pleasure working with you over the past 4 years. I still hadn't figured out how you managed to stay so calm during the chaos in all of our meetings. I'm sure you'll be watching from the comfort of your home, all of our meetings.
I hope not.
Your professionalism, integrity, and dedication to Stokes County will be missed here at the county, but also in the entire community. You've set a high standard that will be truly missed, and we look forward to working with Jennifer to continue the great work that you've started to advise and lead us in the right direction. Thank you, Ty.
Sonia?
Well, I've probably known Ty longer than most anybody here because we were neighbors on Deerfield Drive where I grew up. So we go pretty far back, I think, and I've known Arden even longer. So we just appreciate your service to the board. And like Amber said, I never really seen you get riled or ruffled, so that's saying a lot. And I don't know if you just take good supplements or what, but you might need some of those. But we really do appreciate your service here with us and keeping us straight all this time. So we really truly appreciate it and enjoy your consulting moving forward.
Wayne?
I see him sitting there. Ty, thank you for all your years of service here at the county. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all your invites at your house. It was more than welcome. Just enjoy yourself and have a good time, and thank you for all you've done for your community over in the King area as well. I know you've done a big part over in that area as well also. So thank you for everything you've done.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess we go back a pretty good while, not as long as Sonia, but worked through a lot of issues in a period of time over the last 20 years. I guess the thing I appreciate the most about you, definitely your legal advice, but I think on a lot of these sticky issues we've been in, your judgment and common sense was even more important than the legal aspects of it. And you know, I've gone into a lot of situations thinking A, B, or C, and after I talked to you, I decided, well, D, E, and F is really better. So I really do think you have a lot of wisdom, and especially a lot of knowledge about this county and about how this local government works and everything. And a lot of the successes we've had, I think, could almost be directly attributed to the advice you've given. So I really appreciate the support you give me in both roles, and really hope you have a good, whatever it is you're having now. Hopefully some golf, if nothing else. But it's been a real pleasure to work with you.
So I've known Ty the least. I've known him 2 years. And the one thing that I really got to say is that you really had a very, very good temperament. Even before I got elected, I know there was some controversies going on, and in terms of like the hospital, and I know that I would come up here and listen and watch, and even when the temperature got kind of hot or high, you were always that voice of reason. And the other thing that I learned is that it just wasn't a job to you. It was you really cared for the county. I mean, we paid you to do it, but it wasn't something that's all you did was, hey, I'm in it for the money and I want to come here and do this while you were here. And then even, a lot of times, you're not even here and you're getting phone calls and you're getting asked for advice. And I never ever got the feeling that you picked the winners. You just quoted the law and then gave your opinion on the success rate of if we're right or wrong, if it would go to trial. So for that, I thank you.
Ty, you're gonna love retirement. Just be careful when you take on home projects, because I found out that building a simple bookshelf ends up painting a room, putting down a new floor, and the bookshelf ain't built yet. But I appreciate your commitment all these years. Also, you're leaving us in good hands, I think, too. So I think you've done a good job with Jennifer. So I'll toot her horn too. And we got a plaque for you. Where you want? Oh, you want to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, I would just like to thank the board for all those kind comments, and always try to stay calm in all situations and keep everyone else calm. That doesn't always work out.
Oh, your wife's here. We're going to ask her about that later.
He tries to keep me calm too.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I've been thinking back on the years when I first started and all the changes that I've seen in Stokes County. I know when I started out 51 years ago. Sounds like a long time, but it seems like only yesterday in some respects. I know the Register of Deeds, Brendan's in the fine office downstairs now, but the Register of Deeds was in the old courthouse. Everything was in the old courthouse. It was on the first floor on the left as you go in. A little farther down was the tax office. On the right across the hall was the clerk of court. Upstairs was the only courtroom, and all the DA's offices were upstairs. Everything was there. And this complex wasn't here, and now look at this beautiful government complex that we have here, and we're already enlarging the courthouse to make more courtrooms, and just a lot of progress that's been made in Stokes County. And this board, as it's currently constituted, I'm proud of the progress that's been made since this board has been in office, and I think you've made great strides in making the county run better and making the county departments better and more responsive to the public. And I just want to commend all of you for the job that you've done. And Amber, I want to thank you for those kind words and the time that you spent putting this together. I appreciate that. And I know Jennifer's going to do a great job. She's been an assistant for, I think, a couple of years or maybe a little longer, and I think she's doing a great job, and she'll do a great job in the future. I just want to thank this board and all the previous boards for the opportunity to serve you and the citizens in Stokes County, and allowing me to play a small part in that. Thank you all.
Don't sit down. Let's all of us go down there and let her get a better picture then.
Okay.
Yeah. Like basically says, in appreciation for your recognition of dedicated service and commitment to Stokes County. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Where do you want us?
You're the expert. You got to be here.
I don't want to shoot toward get over here.
Yeah, that would be great. Tell you where she wants you.
Over the exit sign.
I'll just crop it out. I'll Photoshop it. You know, all the things. Okay, let's do one at a time.
You go first.
Okay.
You have the credentials.
Do I? Are you? That way everybody's looking at the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the.
Take care of it.
Here's, you want cover for that, or is it good? Okay, next on our information agenda is Mr. Hooker, quarterly report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to add that I'll miss Ty. I've been knowing Ty, I guess, about since I first started working down here, almost 8 years ago. Every contract I ever entered into as register of deeds, I sent to Ty first. And if it was just one word, it was approved. And Ty wasn't for chit chat on emails, but he got to the point. He got to the point, and he's one of the few people around here I can look in the eye, and so I'll miss that. Thank you, Ty. Really, thank not for being the same height, but for all your hard work. It's really appreciated for sure. I'm here today to give a report on the last quarter of our most recent fiscal year, which you should all have a copy of. Total revenue for the quarter was $236,805.25. That's $67,702.25 in recording fees and $169,103 in excise tax. Well over double, and it used to be the other way around on the excise tax collection versus recording fees. You can see the number of documents that we've had over the last quarter. Our gross revenue was the $236,805.25, and after the state collected their portion per statute, we were left with a net revenue for the quarter of $141,296.15. We just finished up our fiscal year on June 30, and it was the second highest year for revenue for our office since we've been keeping track, I think, for the last 20, almost 30 years. And that's large part to the excise tax collections, which is the sale price of all these properties that's gone up for sale over the last few years. Our gross revenue was $777,586. Our net revenue increase was a 5.6% increase over last year. And again, I attribute all this to excise tax collections, sale prices of all the properties that have sold over the last year. We had 36 more sales come through the office than we did last year, which was a 3.3% increase. But the excise tax collection was a 8.67% increase. So home prices, property prices are staying the same or even increasing. Total transactions were only up 0.5%. So we're not really doing a lot more business. It's just these sale prices continue to remain high and even have gotten a little bit higher. Several transactions were over $1 million. The largest being the last day of the fiscal year, which was almost $9 million. And that was the one of those shopping centers in King sold on June 30. That's kind of a financial layout of our last year. One thing we've really increased, not as much as I thought until I looked at the numbers today, but the marriage license copies were a 26% increase over last year, and that's this Real ID. Everybody's been getting this Real ID. You know, it's a federal requirement, which the deadline for that, not a deadline, but they started enforcing the federal agencies on May 7th. Real IDs for TSA, military bases, federal buildings. And so people were rushing to get those before the May 7th. And so the last year, we've really issued a lot of those marriage license copies, and that's mostly for ladies who have changed their name and they had to prove. So you have to show documentation, the DMV, for those of you who don't have a Real ID yet. I don't have a Real ID yet. I don't travel that often. But you have to provide several documents that prove your full name, address, and social security number, and so forth. And two of those documents we have, birth certificates and marriage license. And so we've seen a lot of foot traffic in the office the last year for those. One announcement I've got is our genealogy conference, which is coming up August the 23rd at 9 a.m. at the Arts Place. Lunch is provided. We will take donations to help cover the cost of the food, but I'm working with the Genealogical Society on this, and also the library down here at Danbury. We will have from 3 to 5 as part of that research opportunity at the vault downstairs in my office and at the library too. But that is August 23rd at 9 a.m. I don't know how many we've had pre-registered, but the flyer has a QR code on it, and you can, if you're familiar with all that QR code stuff, you can get on there and pre-register. That's not required. I mean, we're not going to turn somebody away, but it will help us figure out how much food we need and materials and so forth. But that's the only announcement I have, and I think I've gone through everything I need to on all the other stuff, so that's all I've got.
Say it's at the art place, right?
Yes, at the Arts Place at 9 a.m. And you can come and go as you please. You don't have to show up at 9. You can come later. We did have a guest speaker, a national expert, but he had to back out. There were some obligations he had come up, but it'll be good either way. We've got a lot of the Genealogical Association folks are very well versed in this stuff, and I had an idea that was too late to implement this year, but I was trying to rebrand it this year, and I thought about this line too late, but I think next year I'm going to call it Stokes folks. So you learn about your Stokes folks' ancestors. But anyway, that's if you're at all interested in family history and so forth, or just the history of the county, you can find a lot of history of the county just through family history. Very proud to partner with the Genealogical Society of Rockingham and Stokes counties and the library. They've been a big help, and we'll get that. We'll have that on the 23rd of August.
Any comments?
I like Stokes folks.
Yeah.
I got just one question. I always forget to ask you when you give your reports, but I wrote it down this time. So the fees or the part of the money that goes to the Domestic Violence Center and the Children's Trust Fund.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Children's Trust Fund? Do you know? I know it goes to the state. But
it's a state fund. I don't. I really wish I knew. I've looked into it, but it's been so long that I haven't really. I really don't. It's a state fund.
How about the Domestic Violence Center?
I would imagine it's exactly what it sounds. I'm sure it funds. We have DV court and stuff like that in all the judicial districts, and I'm sure it goes toward. We have an office of domestic violence.
I'm just kind of wondering if I know we're giving them a fee to the state, but I just wonder somehow maybe we get some of that money back from the state.
It could be through the domestic violence offices they've got in the courthouses. I can look into that and exactly tell you exactly what it goes to. But it's $35 of every marriage license we issue goes toward those two things. $5 to the Children's Trust Fund and $30 to the Domestic Violence Center. And that is every ounce of our fee schedule, and the where the money is allocated beyond that is set by statute. The only control I have is to set our plain paper copy fee, which I've never changed. And honestly, I rarely charge for if there are a handful of copies. People pay enough taxes. I'm not going to hackle them over 75 cents. So I'll usually give a few copies for free for most folks. But as far as the fees of the marriage license, going to those specifically, I don't know what the Children's Trust Fund does, but it's been there a long time. We've had that in statute a long time, and I'll have to look into it. The Domestic Violence Center, I would imagine, may help fund the DV office here at the courthouse. We have somebody here dedicated just for that, and it could go to some of that, help offset some of those costs. I don't know. Jennifer, do you know anything about it? Okay.
Domestic violence down here is through the PTRC.
Is it?
So, but maybe some of that fund goes towards the PTRC to do
It
that.
could. I'll get you an answer, Commissioner Chandler.
Just gave an excellent report. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Good job. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 23rd.
Please come by. Please come by. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank y'all.
See you, Ty.
You're not going to stay for all of this?
Let's leave him before we get to closed session.
All right, next is our discussion agenda. And Mr. Gentry, you have the floor.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Commissioners. So the Northern Piedmont Regional Hazardous Mitigation Plan is something we have to renew every 5 years. So some of you on the board did sign off on the resolution 5 years ago. Basically, it's a 1,500-page document that was sent out on the agenda. I'm sure all of you read it over the weekend. But it consists of all the surrounding counties in this area, and basically every municipality, county participates with it. And if we ever have a disaster, declared federally, we could get assistance and funding from it. So if you don't do this, you really can't get the assistance from the federal level as far as reimbursements for a disaster. So that's really all it is, and it goes over every kind of hazard that could affect Stokes County, from tornadoes to severe weather, winter storms, heat, all that, cyber attacks. So does anybody have any questions? And it don't have to go to action today unless you want to do it. We got to September. We need to have it signed before September, and I've already sent it to.
Is this draft good? Is it good to sign?
Yeah.
Let's just move it to action, get it over with.
Yeah, and the City of King has it, Wanacove and Danbury. So they'll do like they did last time, email it back to me, and I'll forward it on to the state. Then we're good for another 5 years.
Is that okay to move it to action? Everyone good from there? Yeah. Any questions for him? Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you make a motion to move it to action?
I'll make a motion, we move it to action.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Where are you up?
Thank you. Everything was provided in the agenda packet there for this presentation. We're looking to get the signature for the donation of property form that was attached and the deed of highway right-of-way agreements for the new right-of-way that the bridge will be setting on at Moortalk Park. Of course, Moortalk Park was funded with federal funds, and they're not able to pay money outright with federal money to pay for federal funded land. But we've been working for at least 2 years to find offset property, and Richard Brim in the tax office helped us to get up with a guy that had a property that adjoined Moortalk Park, and we've kept him in the loop of all the progress of this project over those 2 years. And just in June, the property acquisition group that NCDOT uses, they've been in touch with Mr. Bennett and have been working through He's already signed the agreement to sell the property, but they're waiting on a title approval review. And once that is completed and that unrecorded deed and sales documents are sent over to DOT, these two documents will be used. They will be unrecorded to begin with, and then they will record it all at the same time so that there's no lapse in property or ownership of properties. And it says something about $10 that DOT will pay to acquire the land on the deed of highway right-of-way, deeding that portion of property where the bridge will sit on to DOT from the county's ownership. Jennifer and Nick have both reviewed the documents, and Nick had us to find and request the plat and survey documents that were also attached as map 1 and 2 in the agenda. And there was some question on some of the wording and the narrative in the deed for highway right-of-way that Nick had, and he was able to get that resolved last week with the Telex company that is the property acquisition group that NCDOT is using for this project. So he gave the all clear on that, and everything's good for signature, and hopefully move to the action agenda today so that we get this mailed to them and they have it in time to get everything done.
I'm not trying to start a war. Shouldn't the DOT have done this before they started the bridge?
It's been a whole process because we had to abandon the baseball field because of the Land Water Conservation Fund money that Moortalk was purchased with. So we had to have that whole process and go through the state park system. We have all of that approval just within the last 2 to 3 months. But Richard's been keeping Robbie involved and updated on all the progress of this, and it's just been a government time frame.
How swiftly it moves. And if I remember, you need me to move this. We need to move this to action, correct?
Yeah, we need to mail these signed and notarized forms back to Telex, and then they'll have it to do all of the property deeds and filings at the same time.
Y'all have any questions for him? Ask for a motion. Do we hear a motion to move this to action?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to our action agenda.
The first two items are appointments from last meeting. The first one is for the voluntary agricultural district board appointments. At the last meeting, we nominated George Cutchins and Taylor George to serve on the board. No other applications are received. So if the board is content with those nominations, you would just each state Cutchins and George.
Motion or a poll?
Poll.
Okay.
Let me start. Okay. Cutchins and George. Cutchins, George.
Cutchins, George.
Cutchins, George.
Cutchins, George.
Okay. Same for the Stokes Aging Planning Committee appointments. At the last meeting, the following names were nominated to serve on the Stokes Aging Planning Committee for fiscal year 25-26. This includes Brad Lankford, Tammy Bennett, Joanne Hall, Judy Hennis, Brandon Hooker, Jack Sneed, Mike Stewart, Kathy Young, Winona Sands, Judy Hopkins, Darlene James, and Katie Tedder. And if you guys are fine with those nominations, you can just each say approve list as presented.
Motion to approve list from someone?
Poll, up to start.
No, we don't have to poll. Just make a motion
Okay. Making a motion.
to approve the list.
Yeah, to approve the list. Yep. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And then we have the hazard mitigation plan that we moved to action.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the donation of property for the park.
Motion to approve the donation of the property.
All in favor?
Now we have closed session.
When you catch up, take us into the closed session.
We're going to closed session for the following rationale: to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3.
Hear a motion to go in closed?
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Am I doing so far?
Hold on one second, let us stop.
Do we hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
In favor? Aye.